Hello, everyone. My name is Caley Alyssa, and I'm the founder of the Academy of Yogic Sleep. And I am so excited for this conversation today because who I'm speaking with this afternoon, Emilè, or Em, is one of the just most important people for me this last year, really, as she's come on the radar. She is a student of the Academy of Yogic Sleep. And I will have you just say a little bit about yourself and share a little bit about your background as a yoga teacher and a studio owner.
Thank you. Thank you, Kaylee. It's an honor to be here. I'm glad that we can take some time to just talk a little bit about what you're doing and hype you up. And I'm just so excited to support you and support the Academy of Yogic Sleep. And thank you for giving me the chance to share myself a little bit too. So
Yeah, girl.
um, oh gosh, I've been on this path of yoga and just connecting deeper on a more spiritual level. I would say the last 8 years or so. I've had a connection to something greater for a very long time, and it's really what kind of sparked me to take this path of yoga and really with divine intervention and just divine alignment, I somehow became the owner of a yoga studio at 22. Was
Got
presented
the
to me.
sign right behind you, Rising Lotus. There it is.
It was just presented to me in a way where I couldn't deny it. It was truly like so in alignment with who I am and felt like it's exactly where I need to be. So I just started to have a studio. My mom ended up joining me on that, and we've just been really crushing it, killing it, and just offering really wonderful classes ultimately to help, deepen connection with ourselves, with life, and to really elevate this vessel to anchor in higher levels of consciousness and do that good work to do our best to really uplift humanity in the ways that we can. So we've been doing that for the last 5 years now, and we facilitate retreats and yoga teacher trainings, all very heartfelt, all very like organic, both to me and my mom. It's just something that we feel we're like so destined to do, as it
Mm,
honestly floats so smoothly into this path. It's just the path of least resistance, truly. So and
love
now
it.
I am currently building an online subscription membership, pretty much sharing what we do here, just taking it out beyond the walls of Rising Lotus. So that's currently the wave I'm riding.
Yes, love that. And what do you think? What was the main inspiration for you to join Academy of Yogic Sleep?
Oh, yes. Great question. For me, the main purpose of joining was to really give myself more space to feel. This past summer, my father passed away, and my instant response was to put more on my plate, to start to do more. And I started to experience burnout. I started to just really tell on a deeper level that I'm not, giving myself the space to grieve. I'm not giving myself the space to feel. I would share all these things about like slowing down and taking time for yourself. And then I found that like I'm not living that myself. I'm not giving
Hmm.
myself that space. And it's not, I don't want to show up from that space, for others and for myself. I know that for me to, be in service to others, I must first be in service to myself. And I really measure success through being authentic like that. So the reason for me going into Nidra is because I wanted to choose me, and I wanted to find a technique that truly helped me slow down, because I
Hmm.
just am naturally like, I'm just running and going and doing, like my mind, my body, everything's like zip and zap, doing all these things at once. And I just kind of find that that's like my default. And
Mm,
I'd meditate, I'd do all the things, and it's all really good and I feel good, but there's still this level of like, I'm not slowing down. And like, there was still this like deeper level of like, not feeling at ease. Like I constantly need to keep on going and doing and serving and like just extending my hands and it's in a way kept on pushing me away from like myself, and perhaps something that I should be giving myself space to like feel and be with. So I felt called to join this training with you, first of all, because I've worked with Caley in the past and just absolutely loved working with her. And and just felt such a hard yes to join this training. And I
Yes, yes,
found
yes,
that,
yes, yes,
yay,
yes.
I found
Inside
that
joke.
this, I found that, yeah, I found that Yoga Nidra was really like the one meditative technique that actually worked for me. Like it actually worked. It actually slowed me down. It pulled me into my body. It gave me the chance to feel. And it really helped me like increase my capacity to do all the things that I want to do and can do. And then also remember like to come back to myself. Like I've been able to really balance like the rest and work and play and everything. So yeah, I hope that answered. I feel like I ended up going into all these different directions. I hope that
I
answered
love
the
it. Yeah. Well,
question.
the question was, why did you join the course? And I think it was to slow down and to be more
Yeah.
present and to increase your capacity to do the things you want to do. And then I also heard like some of the challenges that you were facing personally as well as professionally before going into the program. So it was not, feeling sort of run down, not, pulled in a thousand different directions, not filling up your own
Yeah.
cup and doing all the practices, like going through the motions, but nothing actually was really working, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. When it really like hit deep to where it like stays, and
yeah,
Nidra actually like it stays. It's
yeah.
there. It
Hit
solidifies.
Steve, hit Steve. I
Yeah.
like that. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. What can you describe your experience in going through the course and going through the program? It's 12 weeks, it's digital, it's online. What was that like for you? Were there any aspects that, between like the science and the spirituality, the modern and mystic that you really loved? What was it? What was your experience like?
Yeah. For starters, I really love like the platform you used just to kind of touch base on that. Like I loved the platform you used. I loved that it was in person and both hybrid. Like I'm all about connecting in like real time. And I love that we were able to connect, for a couple hours every other week, I think it was biweekly, I
Mhm.
believe. Yeah, I love that there was like the in real life connection, and then the recordings were so good. I mean, I can come back to them at any time. They were so informative. And the module was just stacked. To this day, I keep going back to it. It's got so much good information. So like the material you're presenting, you're giving, like, and then also having to real time teachings from you to go even deeper into those subjects that are in the module to just extract like more information, more of the teachings. It was just such a really good hybrid experience, especially being someone who is a business owner, is really busy. So it was nice that it was just like a really good balance of that. And I also just need to put out there right away that I really love that there was so much encouragement to like connect with the community that you brought together, and that you're constantly like encouraging us to communicate with one another and to support one another on like the communication portal. And that was huge. I mean, community is so important, and I feel like it's so forgotten these days. So I truly truly appreciated how much you kept on encouraging us to really connect with one another and support one another on this journey. And to this day, I actually just got off a Zoom call with some of them, and this training already ended months ago. So Kelly did such a wonderful job, like really connecting us, and now we can support each other. And I think that that was a really beautiful token of the training. And I think you did such a good job bridging the gap between science and spirituality. There's so much mysticism within Nidra, and then you were able to put like the real, tangible, proof of this practice. And yeah, I really love that you're able to bridge that, because, some people get a little turned off by like the mysticism, and to be able to be like, wait, I actually have a whole nother way I could deliver this to you. And it could be received, this information can be received from so many different angles and be able to be like well digested and understood, whether you're approaching from like the mystical, perspective, or more of like the science perspective. So, and I really like having both, and I can reach more people by being able to explain in all these different ways, to where it's received. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Mhm.
What about like personal, professional growth and then like the impact on others? So having gone through this training, what were some of the things that maybe you learned or acquired that have helped you in some way already? whether
Yeah.
it be in a personal or professional sense? And then, how do you see yourself as a healer now and as acquiring this extra tool, right? Which you already have so many tools in your bag, but with this tool, like how has that changed things for you in terms of your business and what you're doing and what you're offering in the world?
Yeah, yeah. So like on a personal level, I feel more embodied. I just feel more in my body, and that's where I want to be. So that was
Night
huge,
drop.
especially yeah. Yeah, so that's like the biggest thing on a personal level, that it truly brings me more into my body, and then I could show up more fully because I'm here, rather than like drifted off somewhere else. So that's a huge personal thing for me. And then on a more business standpoint, what I had no idea that I would actually get out of it was the fact that like I'm so more dialed into like my voice and the way I share my voice, which is huge. It's huge. It's so huge for me. And
Yes.
yeah, like um the way I share is primarily like just through channeling. And oh my God, this training, like it just like dialed it in even further. And like the verbiage I would use, I'm like, where did this even come from? And I know that it all came from like that training, and like the way I would like articulate concepts, was just like so good. And
Yeah,
how
it
much this
was. I will attest to that.
thank you. Yeah, I didn't realize how much
Yeah.
this would like help me really use my
Mm.
voice more, just even more clearly, and be able to like give, just say what I want to say or whatever it may be, just in a more like, yeah, embodied way, and articulated just even more clearly. And yeah, that was a huge thing that I found, that it just really helped me dial to my unique,
Ugh,
expression of my voice.
I love those two things. That's incredible. Those are, and I felt those. I was going through the program. I saw them for you, and man,
Oh,
I
thank you.
some of
Thank
the
you.
feedback I gave you too. I was like, this is so good.
Yes,
Um,
yes, thank you.
and what would you say to someone who's thinking about joining AOYS, who's considering enrolling in the program and, based on your experience, what do you think this like how does this stand out from other potential trainings of the Yoga Nidra?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I would say just go for it, because it's really manageable. And I think a lot of people are just so busy these days, so just first and foremost, it's manageable. Like it won't be overwhelming, because like, first of all, Kaylee's so good with giving you space and time to complete things. And it's so not overwhelming. And I feel like a lot of people tend to pull back from things because they're like, oh, I don't know if I want another thing on my plate. Like, so it's very digestible, very tangible. It's a really good pace, very easy to integrate into your schedule. So I would say, if I'm busy is holding you back, which was like a big thing I was thinking of, forget that. Like it's absolutely doable, whether you have a busy schedule or not. And then I think what makes it stand out is that like, although it is online, like there is so much real-time connection with you. And I feel like a lot of like trainings are, pre-recorded, and um or just, I don't know, there was just this component of like so much like personal connection with you and with the students. After the training, like I feel more connected to you. You and I have connected and messaged and stuff with, I think is like so special and so beautiful. And same thing with other students. So I feel what really makes this unique is that it really gives you a sense of community, even though you're not, with physically with you or with a class. There's still this really wonderful sense of like connection with the community you're working with. And like we're, another really big thing is that we're keeping each other accountable, and you do a really good job to like make sure that we're doing that. And then of course, like the material and the way you deliver it is just really digestible, because you are approaching it from both the mystical and both the scientific, which fills all the cups of the way someone can really like take in information. So yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I
Yeah,
really appreciate you
absolutely.
sharing your experience. And I know that like what you've experienced, I think a lot of other people will resonate with. So I think
Yeah.
it's so helpful to hear your perspective. So
Mhm.
thanks for being
Yeah, it's a
here.
pleasure.
Thanks for
Absolutely.
listening,
Anything I
everyone.
could do for support. Thank you.
Awesome. Yes. All right. We're going to stop recording. We'll see y'all later.